So Chris is saying, I'm a guitar teacher. How can I use socials to build my business locally and not worldwide?
Okay, yeah, because obviously when you put stuff up on YouTube, anyone in the world can see it. And so actual locals, again, a little bit on the advertising, you can use Facebook advertising to start advertising, but this is what I would do if I was a guitar teacher in the area of Norwich, for example. What I would do is I would firstly get a website, if you haven't got a website, because I think socials bring so much. They bring social proofing, and what social proofing means is it means they believe in what you do. They see it and they just think, oh yeah, this is real, this works, this guy's still doing, this guy knows what he's doing. But I think when it comes to a product, I really do think it helps to have an old school website. So I'd go a bit more old school. I would have a website which has everything that you do and everything about you and what value. The purpose of a website, especially that homepage, is very, very simple. Who are you? What do you do? And what value are you bringing to the person on your website? Those are the three questions, that, especially from the homepage, that you're trying to answer. And so therefore, I would go old school. I would have a website because it just shows that you are, if you're targeting mums and dads of kids as well, it just feels a little bit more substantial. And the next thing I would do is I would look into Google Adverts. And it is going to cost a bit of money, but you know, this is business. You're going to have to spend money. Everybody always wants to know how they can do stuff for free. Like when it comes to advertising, you have to pay money. That's what advertising is. It's someone who's got an audience of some kind, whether it's TV or radio or influencer marketing. Advertising is saying, look, you've built this audience, let me hijack that. You have to pay for it. That's the way it works. And if you are going to pay for advertising, what's the most direct way of advertising to people of where they're going to look for guitar teaching? It's going to be Google. If you need something, if you need a plumber, if you need a guitar teacher, the first place you're going to go is Google. That's the way it works. You know, Facebook's great for stumbling across things and seeing an advert for something that appeals to you and thinking, oh, that's good, I like that, I might like that, or I might keep in touch with that. But when you specifically are going to look for something, I want guitar lessons, then you are going to Google, because you're going to put into Google guitar lessons in Norwich, and then it's up to Google, and Google is the best at this. Google is so good. Google genuinely, and YouTube, they genuinely want to give you what you're looking for. So Google is constantly changing its algorithms for the sole purpose of you, the person searching, getting exactly what they want on the first go. They don't want you to hit 5 different things. So they're constantly trying to give you exactly what you're looking for. So when it comes to Google Ads, when someone puts in guitar lessons in Norwich, it couldn't be more specific. Someone in Norwich is looking for guitar lessons. You need to be on the back of that search. Now, if you haven't got a big SEO presence, which is the Google natural rankings, the next option is on the side option, which you can pay for small adverts on the side, you'll all know them, which go down the side of Google and sometimes on the top, and you pay for them, and depending on how much money you're putting in, it's kind of a bidding system. You when someone puts in that key phrase, if you put in the most amount of money and you're pretty relevant to the search, Google will put you at the top, and if you put less money in, it'll go down the side. So that's the first thing I would do, because there is nothing more specific than someone saying, I need a guitar teacher. I'll go on Google, I need a guitar teacher. But what I would, going back to your question, because that might be something you're already doing, what would I use social media for? I would use social media for the social proofing side to it. So nowadays, people don't just want to find a guitar teacher. They want to find the best guitar teacher. They want to find what they're going to get from you. Like back in the day, it was the Yellow Pages. If you wanted to advertise something, there was no Google, you had Yellow Pages, you wanted a guitar teacher, you opened the page to guitar teachers or music teachers, and it would be in there, and you just go, oh good, AA guitar teaching, or AB guitar teaching, or Aardvark guitar teaching, and that would be it. You'd ring them up, are you a guitar teacher? Yes. Can I book in a free lesson or a lesson with you? Yes, you can. Off you go, and there's the lesson already sorted. Nowadays, there's so many comparison websites. If you want a plumber, there's Check a Trade, and you've got a million testimonials. All that is social proofing. So what I would use social media for is I would prove to the world that you are a great guitar teacher, so that the people in your area take you more serious than everybody else. So the way I would do that is I would probably look at YouTube, because if you're a guitar teacher, you have to be able to teach. You have to prove that you can teach. People want to see, they want to try before they buy. Yes, they can come in for a free guitar lesson, great, but they've got to get to that point. They've got to buy into you and your personality and your methods and your playing, because they can do that anywhere online. So when it comes to it, I would be 100% looking at YouTube, and I would be making tutorials, and I'd be making lessons of you teaching guitar, because that way you can say to someone when on your website, if you want to see a bunch of examples of what I do, go to YouTube. So it's social proofing. You're saying to people, yes, I'm a guitar teacher, but before you try, why don't you have a look at this? So on your website, that's called a call to action. And a call to action is very, very important on a website. People need to be navigated around a website. So when people are making a website, what they tend to do is they go, me, 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 me. You're not thinking about the other way around. When someone comes to their website, they're the user. What are they going to your website for? And they need to be told what to do. Just like when you're in a band and you're on stage, you tell the audience what to do. You finish the song by going, nah, bang, because the audience goes, end of the song, we go mad, we go mental, and you go scream, and everyone goes hooray, and you go, are you ready? And they go yes, and you're commentating your way through an audience. And you do the same thing on a website. You don't give people a million options, you give them one, maybe two, and one of those options to get them deeper in your website is a call to action. Find out more about how I can bring you value effectively. And the way you can do that is perfectly with social media, with YouTube. Now, Facebook advertising is potential. Will you get a lot of people that will find you through Facebook? Not as many as Google, because people will stumble across you and think, oh, actually, do you know what? This guy's in my local area. Maybe I will. So if you're going to spend money on advertising, I personally would go for Google Ads, and I would use social media to build up trust in the people that will see you in order to come to you for lessons. As for which platforms you use, YouTube definitely 100%. Facebook, because it's just nice and easy for people to be sent a Facebook link, so why not? And then, I mean, if you want to go down Instagram route, because there's ways of doing hashtags, I probably wouldn't do that, to be fair. I probably would leave it, make it as simple as possible, and concentrate on making great content for YouTube, and which you can share on Facebook, and then Google AdWords the shit out of it. And I'd be spending £5 a day. If you're charging £20 to £30 for lessons, I'd be spending £5 a day, and I'd be using key phrases: guitar teacher in Norwich, guitar lessons Norwich. That's the key, and I would have a website.
What would your thoughts be on, if you couldn't quite afford to stretch to a Google advert, advertising on the sites that do come up on Google fairly early on, so like top guitarists in the Norwich area, that kind of thing, getting yourself onto those?
Yeah, I would do anything. I mean, what it comes down to with all advertising and marketing is the more money, the easier it becomes, in a lot of respects. I mean, you've still got to know what you're doing, but you can still do stuff for free. And I think that's why people watch YouTube clips, because they want to do things as cheap as possible. But I mean, if it were me, I would go and borrow 100 quid. And if you can't afford 100 quid to set up a business, then you probably should think about doing something else. You know, if you're thinking, wow, I can't even stretch to 100 quid. And I would put all of that 100 quid into Google Adverts, or getting a website sorted, which you can do yourself on Wix. I mean, they're literally free. And then I'd get all the information. I'd learn about building websites from Wix for free. I'd put all the stuff I wanted, get all the content for free, and I'd put all of that budget into Google AdWords over a period of £5 a day, with a click-through rate probably in that area of I'd start off at 50p, and you'll know, because if you put in 50p per click and you're at the top, you might be able to bring it down a little bit. If you put 50p and you're at the bottom, you might need to raise it up again. But if you think about what's called cost per lead and cost per click, we're getting proper businessy now, but in order for someone to hear about your business that is looking for you, 50p, I mean, what a bargain. Like, what a bargain. It's for someone who says, I'm looking for guitar lessons, and someone says, well, here's a guitar teacher in your area, and that costs you 50p. I mean, people and businesses spend thousands of pounds to get a lead. I mean, with Google AdWords, you can literally do it for 50p a pound. So I would say borrow a bit of money if you need to, but Google AdWords would be the best way of getting the most direct people. If you can't afford it, then you are going to have to go down the Facebook route, and you're just going to have to make so much content on your phone, and you're going to have to prove to the world that you are worth taking a punt on.